Hi there, I'm Dina, and today I'm sharing what I ate in a day, plus healthy, realistic, and budget-friendly meal prep ideas for a super busy work week. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments what your favorite meal prep ideas are. So let's jump right in. Good Sunday morning. It's going to be quite a busy day today. I am enjoying, first off, a pumpkin spice latte. I've really been enjoying this brand of soy milk just because it has only two ingredients. It has soy and water, organic soy and water, and it's really delicious. And it turns out, Rock, are you okay over there? Rock is anxious to go for his walk, which we'll be leaving to do soon, as soon as I have my cup of coffee and warm up a little bit. I haven't turned on the heat yet this year, although it is a little bit chilly outside this morning, a little bit chilly in the house. I have my nice fluffy robe, but it might be time to turn the heat on soon. And if you don't know what this is, oh, the animals are already at it. There goes the cat opening the pantry door. It's going to be a day, but we will enjoy it. So this is just a warmer and a frother, and it turns the milk nice and creamy and frothy, just like that. And it warms it up at the same time, or you can set it to cold and it will froth it up cold. So I'm going to start my day by enjoying this, and then we'll get into what I'll be doing the rest of the day. But first, of course, Rock and I will be going for a walk. Is that your friends, Rock? Come on. So before I go to the gym today, I'm just going to have a quick protein shake. I have a pretty intense interval training session this morning, and it's also leg day. So for my intense interval training on the treadmill, I'm going to be running pretty hard, and I cannot handle a lot of food on my stomach when I run that hard. So I'm just having a quick protein shake. I've just got some vanilla protein powder. This one is Sun Warrior. It's one of my favorites, but I just need a little something. My go-to is usually a banana, but I'm out of bananas today, so I'll pick some up when I do my grocery shop. So I just have that in some coconut milk, and I'm putting in some beetroot powder. Little extra boost of energy. Doesn't really add a lot of flavor, a little bit of earthiness, but this mostly just tastes like vanilla protein powder. And just a little something on my stomach to give me a little bit of energy. I don't have time to make a juice, and I'm out of most of the stuff. So I'm going to have this and an orange on the way to the gym, and then I'll probably pick something up while I'm at the store to have after the gym. So I'm on my way home from the gym. I got my grocery shopping done, stuck to budget and stuck to my list. That's so important. And I'm just having a quick snack on the ride home, a banana and a handful of cashews. And I am absolutely starving. I cannot wait to get home and get something more substantial to eat. So I thought a smoothie bowl sounded amazing for my post-gym workout, nice and hydrating and filling. So I just have some kale, some frozen banana, and some protein powder in my smoothie bowl, and I have topped it with just a few chopped walnuts. And of course, I'm going to add a little bit more banana, because why not? And the other half of the banana I'll just put in the freezer in my container where I keep my frozen bananas. And a little bit of my hemp seed, chia seed, and flax seed mixture. Sprinkle that right on top. And that looks pretty perfect. Nice and hydrating and filling and full of antioxidants, full of protein and good nutrients. Just what you need post-workout. And I almost forgot I had some almond butter kind of warming on the stove. Nice big scoop of almond butter to stir through that bowl. Perfection. So I got a few things done, a few chores around the house and in the yard, and I've cleaned up, took a shower. My hair's still wet, so I wanted to get into meal prepping. I've got a lot going on this week. I'll have 3 12-hour shifts, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll be working from home Thursday and Friday. Then I'll be back to work Saturday and Sunday for a couple of 8-hour shifts. So I want to set myself up this week to have some healthy, nutrient-dense meals without a lot of work. So I've got some meal prep to do today, and I'm starting with my grains, which I'm just going to pop into my rice cooker and set it to brown rice. But how I like to do my grains is I like to do a mixture of hearty grains. And this week I have brown rice, red quinoa, and barley. This makes a delicious hearty mix, great for those fall dishes. And I'm going to keep it pretty simple here. I have 1/3 of a cup each that I have rinsed really well. You want to rinse your quinoa especially really well until the water runs clear, and that gets rid of some of the bitterness. If you've had quinoa and you thought, oh, it's just, you know, it's not good, it's very bitter, it's probably because it wasn't rinsed well or prepared properly, because quinoa is delicious when it's done right. So I'm going to season it pretty simply with just about a teaspoon of pink salt, because I want to be able to give it whatever flavor that I'm in the mood for when I go to make a meal out of it. So 1/3 of a cup each of my grains, and I'm putting in about 3 cups of water. And I'm just going to set this to brown rice. If I can get my eyeballs to see that. Okay, so that's going to get going, and I'm going to get going on my beans that I have this week. I have some chickpeas that I have soaked and some white beans that I have soaked. And these have both been soaking about 24 hours, and I've changed the water 3 times over that 24-hour period. And I'm just going to get these boiling on the stove. I'm going to rinse them really well one more time, and I'm going to get them boiling on the stove in separate pots. And the same as with my grains, I'm going to season it really simply with just some salt, about 1.5 teaspoons each for the beans, and just probably about 1/2 teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper in my white beans, and my chickpeas I'll just leave seasoned really simply with some salt. Let me show you what else I have going on. I have a new sourdough starter. It's about, I think it's on its 4th day. I haven't named it yet, so if you have any suggestions for a name for my sourdough starter, leave that in the comments, and we'll see how this one goes. I had one going for quite a while, and around the holidays last year, I managed to kill it. So this is a new one that I have going, and I've had a couple since then. They just haven't really done very well, so I'm hoping this one is, I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to it. I got kind of lax on the other ones I've tried, so I'm going to pay really good attention to this one, and hopefully we can get a good one going again that will last me a really long time again. So I have my sourdough starter going, and I have some broccoli sprouts over here going. They'll be ready in a couple of days. And yeah, so let me get on to the rest of the meal prep. The next thing I want to get going is just a nice little sweet afternoon treat, a little pick-me-up in the afternoon. I need it sometimes, most days. If you're like me, you probably do too, and I love a sweet, crunchy snack in the afternoon. So I am going to make some chocolate hazelnut crackers in the dehydrator. So let me show you what I have going into the crackers. First, I have about a cup of medjool dates that I have soaked in some warm water, about a cup of warm water, and I'm going to leave that water in there and use that to blend up for our liquid. And this is kind of on the go. I'm just kind of winging this recipe according to what I know about making raw crackers in the dehydrator. So I have a little extra water here in case I need it, but I have my dates, I have some almond butter, I have some hazelnut flour, I have some psyllium husk, and I have some ground flaxseed, and here I have some carob powder, which is, if you've never had it, it's kind of like a milk chocolate flavor, a little bit earthy and rich. It's delicious, just like chocolate. So I have about 3 tablespoons of that, plus a tablespoon of dark cocoa powder, and this is just going to give it a really rich chocolatey flavor. So I have all of those dry ingredients. I can go ahead and dump these in the bowl. And my hazelnut flour, and my psyllium husk, my silly husk, as my little granddaughter Frankie calls it, and some ground flax. And to that, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more than that. Because I like my chocolatey sweet things to have just a little bit of salt. It brings out all the other flavors. So let me get this blended up. I'm going to blend my dates and about 2 tablespoons of almond butter. And you know, if that were a milkshake, I think I could just drink that just like that. Got a few clumps in there of the carob powder. It's been in the pantry a while. It's kind of one of those things I bought for a specific recipe and haven't used it much since, so I really need to find a few more recipes. If this one works out, I may add it to the arsenal for this holiday season. Okay, so I have that mixed up pretty good. I'm just going to go all in with my date and almond butter mixture. And I may need a little bit of extra water, but let me get this going and we'll see. We want it to be kind of a thick paste-like consistency. So yeah, I think we'll need just a little bit more water. This is looking and smelling like a fabulous brownie batter. Just kind of roll it out nice and thin onto a piece of parchment paper or wax paper, or if you have a silicone mat, those work great in the dehydrator too. So I want to get it to about 1/8 of an inch thick. I think is a good thickness for a cracker, and that looks perfect. And I'll get this one in the dehydrator and get the other one going. Next up on the list is a sweet and spicy citrus salad dressing. That's kind of difficult to say. Sweet and spicy citrus salad dressing. Tongue twister. Thought I did pretty good with that one. So I just have a couple of navel oranges here and 1 lemon. I have a hot pepper out of the garden, and I have a little maple syrup, a little tahini, and in here I already have put 1 clove of garlic. And I'm just going to juice my citrus real quickly and get that in there along with my maple syrup. Oh, my favorite. Just pretend I didn't do that. Not very good manners, I know. Sorry. It's just me in the kitchen now, so if that offends you, I'm sorry. I really shouldn't do things like that. Alright, so I have probably about a half a cup of juice out of that. And I'm going to put in some nice creamy tahini, about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to put in my whole pepper. I'm not removing the seeds. If you don't like it quite that spicy, definitely remove the seeds. If you don't want it spicy at all, leave it out. But I highly recommend having this with a little bit of spice. I like my salad dressings to be a little bit sweet, a little bit savory, a little bit salty, and a little bit tangy, and a little bit spicy. So this one is perfect. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to get it going. And I have a container here. This will be good for my salads for the entire week. It should last me probably up until Friday, which is good, and it will stay good in the refrigerator. So there's my salad dressing, another project down. I'm going to take a few minutes and do some dishes and clean up, and then I'm going to prep my salad and my breakfast, and I will be done with meal prep. All right, I am in the home stretch here. I had to stop for a snack, and I snacked on this poor little pear, which was absolutely delicious. I'm so glad I decided to buy that pack of pears because they are perfectly ripe. So let me show you what's going in my salad for the next few days. I'm going to prep a salad base. So I'm going to put my heartier vegetables in here that will last a few days, and then on the day that I go to eat my salad, I'll put the softer vegetables like the tomatoes and cucumbers right before I take it to work with me. So I have a bed of kale, roughly chopped and stems removed, and I have some mixed greens, which just has some red rocket lettuce, some arugula, and whatever that other frilly green lettuce is there. I like this mix though. It holds up really well in the refrigerator, so that's another reason why I like to buy it and mix it in with the kale. So I have all these nice bitter greens going in for a base, and I'm going to just I'm just going to take my little peeler here and peel in some strips of carrot. This will be for the next few days for my lunches. So I want to load this down with some really good hearty vegetables. The orange bell pepper is my favorite one to eat with my homemade hummus, so I'll save him for snacking. And I'm just going to chop up the red one for my salad, and I think I'll just make it easy on myself and chop him into rings. Oh look, we have a tiny little sprout in the middle. So good. I love a fresh bell pepper. So good for you, so full of vitamin C. Actually just going to chop up the white part. I don't know. I'll go ahead and chop it all up. It adds so much flavor, so why not? So just a big rough chop on that as well. Look how good that looks. Oh my goodness. That looks so good. The next thing going in is some dried cranberries for a little bit of sweetness. I'll be going in also with some chopped walnuts for crunch, and I'll just use the rest of that pack also. And I'm just going to give this a quick toss around, tossing my own salad again. Doesn't bother me a bit. Okay. And there's our nice colorful salad. And to help it stay nice and fresh, I like to just put a paper towel in the container. This will help soak up any liquid that's in there. I'll just put the paper towel on there like that, put the lid on, and I'll store this upside down just like this in the refrigerator. And like I said, in the morning when I'm ready to pack my lunch, I will put some fresh cucumber and tomato, or I'll just take my tomato and cucumber to work with me and chop it there. So the final thing I want to meal prep is a breakfast. I am going to make some pumpkin pie chia puddings. Now this is going to be a pretty rich and decadent breakfast. It's almost like dessert. But let me tell you, the way work is going lately, I need a damn good reason to get out and go to a 12-hour shift. So having a good breakfast ready to go and waiting on me, it motivates me when I'm hungry in the morning to get up and go, okay? But I have 1 can of pumpkin puree, just plain pumpkin puree. I'm going to hit that with about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Just a pinch is all we need, just a pinch of salt. I'm also going to add 1 scoop of protein powder. Well, I think I'm making 4 breakfasts. So I'm going to add 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder. And that's kind of like my sweetener in this recipe. And I have 1 tablespoon of molasses, which just gives it a rich pumpkin pie flavor. I like using molasses in a lot of my holiday recipes. It just gives such a rich, unique flavor to everything. So I'm going to stir that up, get that going, and I can't forget my pumpkin spice. Now this is going to be sweet enough for me with just the protein powder, but if you like it a little bit sweeter, you could add some maple syrup, some date syrup or agave syrup, or whatever sweetener you like. But I'm going to go in with a good amount, probably a full teaspoon to teaspoon and a half of the pumpkin pie spice. You can use a pumpkin pie spice, or you could just use some cinnamon with a little bit of nutmeg and ginger and clove. But this particular brand, it's called Happy Belly. It's a really good balanced pumpkin spice. It has a really good flavor, so I like that one. It's one of the only ones I've tried that has enough cinnamon and ginger and clove for me. Predominantly, most of the pumpkin pie spices just taste like cinnamon, so this one's really good. I really like it. I'm going to mix this up pretty well. I'm just using my super seed mixture here. This is just a mix of hemp seed, flaxseed, and chia seed. So we have that full protein profile there, and about 3 tablespoons, 3 or 4. I'll go with 4 since I have 4 breakfasts here. It smells amazing. It smells like the holidays. I'm going to add just a little bit of water, maybe about a 1/4 cup, just to give some liquid for those chia seeds to soak up. Pumpkin puree, it's got quite a bit of water in there, but I want to make sure my chia seeds get nice and plump and juicy. Just fine. I'm just going to give it a quick taste. Make sure there's enough sweetness in there for me. Oh, it's so good. Okay, and I've got 4 jars here to take my breakfast in. Just going to put, let's see how far this goes. Like maybe 3 scoops in there. Now, most of my meals are very simple and very basic, but that doesn't mean that they can't look appetizing. You can still make them look really pretty and inviting with simple and basic ingredients. Next, going in, I have sliced up some of my lovely pears, and I'm just going to stick those down along the sides, make it look nice and pretty. And I hit the pears with just a little bit of lemon juice just to help them stay nice and vibrant and not go too brown. So next I have just some plain coconut yogurt, which again I'm going to add a little bit of pumpkin spice to. Not too much this time, just enough to flavor it a little bit. And this is just plain coconut yogurt. You could use like a sweetened vanilla one if you like. That would be really good. Or add some sweetener in here if you like. These I cannot wait to eat. And I have another layer. I have just some almond butter for a little richness. And I just put a little warm water in here and melted it a little bit. I'm going to put just a little bit of almond butter in each one. And finally, for a little crunch, I have just some chopped pecans or pecans. How do you say it? Pecans or pecans. I'm originally from the Midwest and I grew up calling them pecans, and we had a great big pecan tree right in the front yard, and every year after the first frost it was our favorite thing to go and pick pecans for some holiday pies. My dad was a really great baker and he made some really good desserts. So these are ready and looking amazing. I'm going to grab some lids and then I'm pretty much done with meal prep. And I need to decide what I'm going to do for dinner now. So for dinner tonight, I just heated up some leftovers that I had in the fridge so I could make some room for my meal prepped things. And I had just made the other night a pasta bolognese with some brown lentils and a really rich tomato sauce with some carrot, onion, and garlic in there. So good. And I just have that with chickpea pasta. So to heat it up, I just layered it in this little casserole dish with some vegan cream cheese. And that's just my homemade cream cheese recipe that has cashews, hemp seeds, and sunflower seeds. And I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of fresh basil. Freshen up those leftovers a little bit and make it look pretty. Oh yeah. And this, I'm not tired of eating it. It's my third night in a row actually. It's so delicious. So I'll work on sharing a recipe for this too. But I'm going to sit down and enjoy this. I might be able to eat this entire portion. Maybe not. But Rocco is a fan too. Even though there's a little bit of onion and garlic in there, not great for dogs, but it doesn't seem to bother him. So if I have a little leftover, he might get what's left. We've both walked and ran really hard today while we were out doing laundry. Since the pantry / utility room is under renovation, we have to go to the laundry in town and do laundry. And Rock and I walked while it washed and walked while it dried. So Rock got in a few extra miles today. So he might be a little extra hungry too. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel and see how I put together my meals for the week. And thanks so much for watching. I always appreciate it. Make sure to leave a comment and let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!